Hey, welcome to A Clairvoyant Journey. I'm Jackie Mahalchik, and thanks for just clicking on this video and wondering what it was all about. I've posted a video out on here, oh gosh, it's been months ago, but it was an energy run, and I thought I would kind of follow up with it. I've been doing a lot of self work lately, and I thought, what I'm feeling, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other people out there that are going through a lot of different changes and struggling with making decisions and choosing paths. It seems like it's a really big time right now. I know that recently for me, I seem like I've come to a T in the road where I can go left, right, and continue forward if I wanted, or if I really wanted to, I could go backwards. It's not easy making the choice of going in any direction. If I go backwards, I'm going backwards. If I'm going forwards, there's the fear of the unknown and am I making the right decision? Is it what I'm supposed to do right now? Do I take the left turn? Do I take the right turn? Um, and what I've been getting guidance for is it doesn't really matter what direction we're going as long as we're going forward. As long as we're not going backwards. Going backwards is just going to keep us in a stagnant path that's not going to give us any growth, and we're going to repeat a lot of patterns. There is a potential of repeating patterns no matter what path you choose, but the chance of making a different choice along the way is a little easier when you're stepping into new uncharted territory. That being said, making decisions is not easy. It's difficult. There's so many factors to put into place and to line up. And I guess I just want you to know that you're not alone. It doesn't matter how spiritually connected, how I don't even know how elevated you are on your path. It doesn't matter. When it comes to making personal changes, those are tough. We are fearful. We're fearful of the unknown. We're fearful, some of us, myself included, at times when you start to peel back the layers, you find out you're kind of afraid of success. Okay, so that's a silly thing to be afraid of, right? It's all relative. It depends on what your fears are. It also depends on where you hold most of your values. I'm putting together a brochure and I had designed a workshop a while ago that I've really never implemented, but it's about really recognizing your values and understanding what your values are, because so often we go through life and just assume we are all kind of on the same page, at least the people we surround ourselves with. We feel they're like us, they have the same similar aspirations as we do, when it comes all down to it, they don't. We all have our own unique set of values and aspirations. And why I can say that they're all different and why they're all unique is because we all put a different emotion and a different attachment or definition, slightly different definition to each one of the values that are listed. And what could be my values that I list may be completely different than my husband's. But if we actually were to dissect them and list what the definition of each of those values were to us, we may then find we had a lot more crossed over connected values than we would have upon the first look at something. So that sways me into the next thing. I've been talking with a lot of people lately, having them come to me with some issues, and a lot of it seems to be relationship. And what I'm finding with that is so often we do not set our expectations out there. We don't share with others what we expect of them or expect of the relationship or expect of the situation we're in. It could be anything from a work situation to a neighbor situation to a relative, a situation with a relative or your spouse or your children. I mean, there are so many different connections and relationships that we have in just one single day. My relationship with the barista at Starbucks could be considered a relationship. I go there, they know what I want. I pay. It's a nice, hi, how are you? There's this energy that's exchanged. My relationship when I go to lunch during the week, which I seem to frequent the same places, when I walk into Chipotle and they say, "Oh, hi, you're gonna get the same regular." I mean, I have this connection relationship. Now, I never walked into Chipotle and said, "Okay, I expect you to by the time I've been here 10 times, know who I am and what my order is." That's just really an unrealistic expectation. But they met and exceeded it by knowing who I am and at least attempting to remember and recognize my order. Now, that's a expectation that I never would have even shared with them. I wouldn't have walked in and said, I expect you to do this, otherwise I'm going to go to another establishment. But how often do we have expectations with other people in our lives that we don't share that expectation with? How often do we have an expectation of what a spouse should do in a situation of, I don't even know. Let's say like you have a vacation and you expect to go on this vacation and rest and have this romantic time and just whatever. You have all these set expectations. They're not set in stone, but they're kind of things that you're expecting. Now, maybe the other person in the relationship has different expectations of the trip, and you both go and you're both expecting the other person to know what will make you happy. Now, it's really unrealistic because we're all individuals. And if we spend all of our time trying to guess what is going to make somebody else happy, our spouse, our children, our coworkers, our boss, anybody, you're spending a lot of time in a whole realm that you have no control over. It's easier to just say, what are your expectations on this trip? What are your expectations on this project? Let me know what you're expecting from me. I'm not expecting someone to tell me exactly what to do, but I'd like to know what their expectations are. Now, before you get mad at somebody about not meeting your expectations, I think you need to stop and check yourself. I think you need to stop and say, have I honestly shared my expectations with them? Have I been open and let them know what I am expecting out of this situation? If you can answer yes to that, then you should proceed with being frustrated or taking the next steps and discussing that with this person that you're in this relationship with. Because it's valid to be upset about that. If you've set the expectations out there and everybody's aware of them and there's still a failure to meet them, then there's a situation and there's something that needs to be discussed. Now, on the other hand, which I feel like the majority of us fall into this category, if you have expectations in your head that you have not actually verbalized and shared with somebody, how can you be mad at them for not fulfilling them? Can they read your mind? I don't care how psychic you are. You're not going to have this ability to always tap into somebody's needs. And you can't expect somebody to always know what you're thinking or what you're wanting. You need to express your expectations. I don't know why it seems so hard to do that. It seems so hard, and we feel maybe somewhat selfish in doing it. We feel like it's not allowed for us to come right up front and say, this is what I expect. But why is it wrong? Why can't we say that? Where is it written that we can't say, I really like you, I really like this project, I really am excited about working here. These are my expectations. I just want to lay them out on the line of what I'm expecting of the job, of the relationship, of the experience. What are your expectations? Because then we can make sure that we at least meet or exceed those. All right. I didn't really think I'd have a little big. I'd sit here and talk about expectations, but that's what prompted to come out of my mouth, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to make this video really short, so sorry if I just keep I'm rambling. I just find that a lot of the people that have been talking to me lately have been talking about just misunderstandings with people and being frustrated that they're just not meeting the expectations. So before you fly off the handle, before you get all upset about someone not meeting your expectations, I really think it's time to actually lay them out, share them with somebody, and then it's up to them. That doesn't mean just because you've told them what the expectations are that they're going to follow them, because we all have free will and we all make our decisions and choices based off of things that have happened in our life and that are going on currently in our lives. We're all unique individuals on our own path. So please have tolerance with one another and understand that there really shouldn't be any type of disagreement that cannot be resolved without at least communicating openly from your heart to the people that you love and care about with love. Hold back the bitterness, the anger, the spite. Check all that below into the lower chakras. Speak through your heart. Run all the thoughts and anything that you're expressing outwardly to somebody else. Imagine running those words through a filter that is our heart, so that you're saying the things that you truly mean for their greater good and for the greater good of all and for yourself. That way, I think it helps to remove pettiness, ego, and I don't know, just that competitiveness that's sometimes out there and speaking our minds and trying to sound like we know more than somebody else. We're all learning. We're all on this journey called life. And mine is just tapped into the clairvoyant part. And I really am trying to help you guys all tap into your clairvoyant part of your life. So until my next video, have a good night. Thanks for listening. And I'll be blogging again shortly.